Before today's video begins, I would just like to give a shout out to Super Sector 24. He's been my lifelong best friend, and he just recently hit 1,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to his channel. I'll put his channel link down in the description below. But I want to give a big shout out to him. He truly deserves it. And I hope you keep up the good work and keep putting out those bracketology videos and doing whatever you can to grow your channel, because I'm happy for you. You've been my best friend for as long as I can remember, and you truly deserve every single subscriber that you have on the channel. So if you haven't already subscribed to his channel, I'll put it down in the description below. And if you want a shout out in my video, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notifications bell, and I will be sure to put you in the next video. So without further ado, let's get right into today's video. So maybe being a Colts fan, you probably understand where I'm coming from. Having to deal with the Andrew Luck injury and the addition of Frank Ryan as the new Indianapolis head coach, and Chris Ballard getting things in the right direction, not only from an office perspective, but for the players' perspective as well. Because the way I see it, the way that Chris Ballard has been dealing with this team for the past year and going into next year, he's done a tremendous job. Yes, Colts have not been doing too well. They went 4-12 last season with Jacoby Brissett as a starting quarterback, but Jacoby Brissett was not really that proven. I like Brissett a lot. I think he's going to be a great backup, but I really don't see him further than that. From what I saw, I think he showed some cases of life in him that he can be a starter, but not right now. He's still young in his career. I say he gets some time. He develops under our system, and then he goes out and signs a contract with another team, most likely. Or we keep him as a backup, because I think he is a pretty good backup for the most part. Now, Andrew Luck is kind of a bit of a rough subject with me, because ever since Andrew Luck got drafted, he's been playing pretty well, but he's been injured because of the offensive line not protecting him as much as I thought he was going to get when he got into his career. And it's not really Andrew Luck's fault. The whole situation with Chuck Pagano and the whole front office situation, it was a disaster. I'm glad we got rid of Ryan Gritskin, because he pretty much destroyed our team. Chris Ballard, having the addition of him, helped us out a lot, and I'm pretty glad we got him. The addition of Frank Ryan is going to be amazing, because if you guys did not know, Frank Ryan actually began his coaching career with the Indianapolis Colts. Crazy, right? He was a quarterback's coach with Peyton Manning back in 2007, 2008, and they had a long string of awesome playoff runs, getting to the Super Bowl. They were a pretty solid team, and I loved when Frank Ryan was the QB's coach, because he taught Peyton Manning a lot in a perspective of how to play later on in his career, like how to, just be the leader of that team, and he did a tremendous job. Frank Ryan was tremendous at the QB quarterback, the QB coach position. Sorry if I'm stuttering. I'm just trying to think of things to say on the spot. I don't have a script right in front of me. But when Frank Ryan was the offensive coordinator for the Eagles, I thought that was a perfect fit for Carson Wentz, because he could teach Carson Wentz the ways of the offense, just like he did with Peyton Manning when he was a QB coach with him. And now that Frank Ryan is back, the future is bright for Indianapolis, because not only do we have one of the best offensive coordinators as our head coach, we got him calling the plays for Andrew Luck to help Andrew Luck develop even more as a QB later on in his career. Because right now, Andrew Luck, he's got a huge contract and he has not been playing much. It kind of sucks, because Andrew Luck is supposed to be our franchise quarterback. He's supposed to be our QB that we're supposed to be building around. And right now, all our only wide receivers are T.Y. Hilton, Dante Moncrief. Chester Rogers is a good special teams returner, but he's really inconsistent. He hasn't been showing true highlights of himself, which kind of sucks because I like Chester Rogers a lot. Running back position is also kind of weird because we have Frank Gore, who could potentially be going to another team most likely, and that leaves in the hands of Marlon Mack as our starting running back. Don't get me wrong, I think Marlon Mack has a lot of energy. He's got potential, but that's pretty much all he has is potential. We don't know where his ceiling is and how far he's going to go as a starting running back. I think if we give Marlon Mack a chance in this next year's NFL season and not draft a running back in the NFL draft, I think Marlon Mack could have potential to be a good running back or just a backup. That's kind of the situation that he's in because we don't know how Marlon Mack is going to do. He could go out and have one of the best seasons next year, or he could potentially just not do too good and we have to draft the running back next year. So the way I see it, give Marlon Mack a chance. Hopefully Frank Reich knows what he's doing with the situation on that. Next, I want to talk about the NFL draft and what I think the Colts should do. The way I see it, the defense is young, ready, and probably going to be on a tear next year because we have Clayton Gathers, Darius Butler, and Malik Hooker. I hate the loss of Vontae Davis because he was our focal point for our defense, and without him, our defense is like nothing because Vontae Davis was like the leader that we would look up to, but groin injuries just kind of stopped back. And then the death of Edwin Jackson, which really hurt our middle linebacker position because I thought Edwin Jackson was a really good player and I thought he was going to break out next year, but unfortunately his life came to a close very early. Rest in peace, Edwin Jackson. I had no sympathy for the guy that killed him. He gets no sympathy from me because of what he did to Edwin Jackson. But anyways, way I see it, NFL draft, you either draft the best defensive end or you trade down that pick and get the best offensive lineman. Or you draft the defensive end and then draft specifically offensive linemen and potentially another middle linebacker or something. It's a weird situation right now with the way the NFL draft is because we have the third pick and we don't know if we could use it on a defensive end or trade it down to get an offensive tackler. Because right now, Anthony Costanzo is our only good offensive lineman, and the loss of Muhart kind of hurts us as well because Muhart was actually pretty decent before he got injured. And then Denzel Good, he's not been doing too much. Same thing with Joe Hagg. The offensive line has just not been productive as our team is dead last in the amount of protection for QB position. Because we allowed the most sacks out of any team in the NFL, which is pathetic if you ask me. Considering we had 6, 8 years to upgrade that offensive line and all we got is Anthony Costanzo, that just doesn't seem right to me. I mean, yes, we got on the train of wins with Andrew Luck being efficient and we didn't really have to rely on that offensive lineman as much because Andrew Luck was so good, but now it's coming to a point where we need to get that offensive line up. And just watching as a Colts fan, it's kind of frustrating because I've been a Colts fan pretty much my entire life, ever since I understand how sports worked. Because when you're like a little kid, you don't understand sports fully until you get a certain age. I finally understood how they worked when I hit 8 to 9 years old. And that's when I started becoming a fan of the Indianapolis Colts because Peyton Manning was so awesome. in the Super Bowl, and that's what got me to love them. Ever since then, I've been a ride or die fan with these guys because I think they could be one good team if they could just keep up the good work and build a team around Andrew Luck and get that defense going, because that defense could be scary. They have potential, but they just need a few more pieces. Bradley Chubb from Georgia, the defensive end, he would be perfect for our system. I thought one of our picks, Zach Banner from last year's draft, would be a pretty good option for offensive line, but we released him because I think he was too heavy or not efficient enough in those practices, which kind of sucks because I thought he could be the next big thing for us in our offensive line. But let's just hope Chris Ballard knows what he's doing with this team, because I got full faith in him, and I got full faith in Frank Ryan to bring my Colts back into playoff contention and to bring them back from like the pit of misery with the Cleveland Browns. Because let's be honest, the Colts have not been that great of a team in the past few years, and I just hope they can change it around soon. So anyways, guys, hopefully y'all enjoyed today's video. I'll be sure to upload as much as I can. I just wanted to get my thoughts and feelings on what I feel the Colts organization is going and how the front office is doing and what's the future of this team. I think it's looking good, but we just gotta hope and see if they can pull it off next season. So anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. You guys are awesome. You all know it. As always, have an awesome day, and I will see you all